Have you ever gotten a gift from someone and it just felt a little off? When it comes to people with narcissistic traits, gift giving can be a total head-scratcher. One minute, they're burying you in expensive, over-the-top presents, and the next, they're conveniently forgetting your birthday. It's some serious emotional whiplash.
So that's the big question we're tackling. What is the deal with this contradiction? Are they generous people, or are they actually kind of cheap? Are they thoughtful, or are they just plain neglectful? Well, the wild part is, the research says the answer is both. And it all depends on what they're trying to achieve.
So on one side, you've got this almost overwhelming generosity. This is classic love bombing. But you gotta understand, the gift isn't really a gift in the way we normally think about it. It's more like a down payment. It's a tool they use to get you hooked, to make you feel like you owe them something, and that something is usually your attention.
But then, you get the total flip side. The cold shoulder, the same lame gift every single year, or even worse, nothing at all. And it feels personal, right? Like a deliberate slap in the face. So how on earth can the same person be both of these things? It seems impossible.
Well, the key to cracking this code is to realize that we've been looking at narcissism all wrong. It's not just one single thing. And once you see the two different flavors of it, all this confusing behavior suddenly clicks into place. It all starts to make a weird kind of strategic sense.
But first, let's just do a quick reset on what we're really talking about. At its core, narcissism is built on two main pillars. The first is egocentric exceptionalism, which is just a fancy way of saying I'm special, I'm better than everyone, and I deserve special treatment. The second is social selfishness, which is basically a your feelings don't really matter to me kind of attitude. These two things are always bubbling under the surface.
All right, so here is the game-changing idea. It's a framework researchers call the narcissistic admiration and rivalry concept. The basic idea is that all narcissists want the exact same thing, to feel grandiose, to feel like they're the best. But they have two totally different playbooks to get there. You've got the admiration playbook and you've got the rivalry playbook.
Let's break that down a bit. The admiration strategy, that's all offense. It's about being charming, being impressive, and getting everyone to clap for you. The rivalry strategy, on the other hand, is all defense. It's about protecting that fragile ego by tearing other people down, especially if they feel like you're some kind of threat. So you see, same end goal, but a completely different way of playing the game.
And this table just lays it out so perfectly. The admiration type uses what's called assertive self-enhancement. They're the charmers, the grand gesture givers, all to build themselves up. But the rivalry type, they use antagonistic self-protection. This is where the hostility and aggression come in, all designed to tear other people down. I love this last part. One builds their own pedestal, while the other just tries to kick yours over.
Okay, so we've got the theory. The researchers took this idea, admiration versus rivalry, and said, all right, let's see how this plays out with gift giving. And what they found was, wow, super clear and super consistent.
And boom, here it is. This is the core finding. People who score high on that admiration scale, they are way more likely to give gifts. And it makes sense, doesn't it? A gift is the perfect stage for them to perform and show how amazing they are. But the people high in rivalry, they're way less likely to give. For them, a gift isn't a stage, it's a trap.
So, we know the what, but what about the why? What's going on under the hood that makes one so generous and the others so stingy?
It all boils down to one thing: how they feel about what psychologists call communal motivations. Now that's just a term for wanting real closeness, real warmth, real connection with another person. And these two types of narcissism, they feel the polar opposite about this stuff.
And this little flow chart just explains it all. Look, the admiration type wants to enhance their self-image, so they act like they want closeness. They want to look like a great warm friend. And that leads to giving gifts. But the rivalry type, their whole game is self-protection, so they actively shut down any drive for closeness. They see intimacy as dangerous, and that leads to not giving gifts. Simple as that.
But wait, it gets even deeper, because it's not always so black and white. Turns out, the situation, the context, can completely flip the script on how they behave.
For someone high in rivalry, it's not really about the gift. It's all about who they're giving it to. The threat level of intimacy changes depending on their relationship with you.
Check this out. This is wild. When the gift is for a best friend, that rivalry person is very unlikely to give one. A best friend expects closeness, and that's a threat. But if the gift is for some random acquaintance,
the effect totally vanishes. They'll give the gift. Why? Because there's zero risk of that acquaintance wanting to get all close and personal. The threat is gone.
Okay, now let's flip it. For the admiration type, the calculation is totally different. They don't care so much about who it's for. For them, it's all about what the gift is and how good it makes them look.
And this is just so telling. The admiration type loves giving a standard impressive gift. But what happens if the gift is super personalized? Something that's all about the other person. Their interest plummets. Why? Because if the gift is all about the receiver, it steals the spotlight. It's not a big enough stage for them to show off how great and generous they are.
So, after all that, what does this actually mean for you? How can we use this to make sense of the weird gift-giving stuff we might see in our own lives?
Okay, let's wrap it up. That over-the-top gift, that's admiration at play. It's a performance, a way for them to look like the best partner or friend ever. That forgotten birthday or lame gift, that's rivalry. It's a defense mechanism, a way to push away closeness. And here's the bottom line. For a narcissist, a gift isn't really about you. It's a strategic move that's all about them.
And honestly, this might be the most important thing to take away from all of this. Whether it's a huge, showy gift or nothing at all, it says way more about their internal wiring and their own needs than it ever says about you or your value. Remember that. It's not about you. It's about them.
So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. When you know the real motive behind a gift, does it even feel like a gift anymore?